We Have a Ghost is the newest film from Netflix starring the likes of Anthony Mackie, David Harbour, just to name a few, and this is my review. Hope you all are having a great day. It is late. I am filming this before I go to bed just to get it out of the way and get it done because when I see a movie that I don't enjoy, I always hold off on filming my reviews because I don't really like to talk about movies that I don't enjoy. I think that makes sense. But today we are talking about We Have a Ghost. It's the newest film from Netflix. Netflix is on a very cold streak, at least from the films I've seen. And this one just is another one that's not great. Look, I don't think I'm in the target demographic for this, I'll say first off. But I also was intrigued with like who was in it. And so there was some sense of anticipation or intriguedness to this because I wanted to see what David Harbour and Anthony Mackie could do. Didn't fully understand what the movie was, I think, either, until I actually watched the movie. I thought it was one thing, and then it really was another thing. But let's get into the review. The anticipation was a little bit there. I was interested. But again, we are in January, so it's a dumping ground. Or we're in February now. But we're in that beginning of the year dumping ground. March, I think, is really when it starts to kick off with some actual good stuff. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I had some anticipation. I was looking forward to it a little bit. And it not a great movie, is what I'll say. There are two positives to this that I can think about. One, I think David Harbour in this is actually really good. Spoiler alert, I guess. The ghost that David Harbour is playing cannot talk. He can only like groan and moan and make like some noises. He cannot talk. So David Harbour is having to bring this performance to life without being able to talk. And he has to bring emotion and you know, just emote and make people feel a way and try to build a character around someone who can't talk. And I mean, that's not the easiest thing to do. And I think that he actually did a really, really, really good job. He's the best part of this movie, is his character of Ernest. He's by far the best thing that's in this movie. And that is credit to him and his acting. I think David Harbour is actually a really good actor. I think he's kind of an underrated actor. A lot of people just know him for Stranger Things and Marvel. But I think he's just really, really solid in whatever he's doing. He's really the only person in the cast that's really good. The rest of the cast is fine to not really great. This is just a very lackluster movie. Anthony Mackie, I love Anthony Mackie, cut the check. He's not good in this movie. And I don't fully blame that on him. I blame some of that on how his character is written. But I just didn't like his character, and I didn't think that Mackie did a great job either. And that hurts me because, like I said, I love Anthony Mackie. And I think that potential is always there for him to bring a good performance. I just didn't think that it really worked here, unfortunately. The writing is my biggest... Oh, and the last thing that I thought was good is there was some emotion at the end that actually worked for me. It's very cookie cutter. You can kind of it's very predictable and it's very baity. Like they're trying to bait your heartstrings and make you feel a certain type of way, even though the writing is kind of shallow. So like there's some situational and kind of baity emotion that did work because they are manipulating your feelings to make you feel that way. But it didn't do enough in the long run for me to really, really love the movie. So I'll give it like half a point, but I'm not going to give it a full point because I knew what they were doing there. And they thought they'd be slick, thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. It was very manipulative writing at the end. that made me feel a certain type of way. Speaking of the writing here, it's just not good. It's not good. It's not good. This film wanted to be every genre in the book, every subgenre in the book, have every trope, have every character arc when it came to like family type of movie, and that is too much going on and too many things happening, too many subplots, too much comedy but then not comedy, but then seriousness but then not seriousness, and too many emotions, and it was a mess. It was a messy movie that tried to do too many things, tried to swing for too many fences. Kids may love it. I'm not a kid, and maybe that is at my disadvantage, but the messy movie that's trying to do too much, and for the life of me, make some characters likable. I've seen far too many movies this year alone where every single character is unlikable and not in a good way. This is yet another one. I think every character here besides the ghost is like an unlikable character in their own kind of way. And while our like main character kind of tries to do the right thing and is kind of redeemed, I don't really think any of the other characters here are anyone I would root for. I'm rooting for the ghost because, that's, want him to move on and go to the afterlife and whatever, but the writing, it's just too much going on, and all the characters are unlikable, and it just was not a very pleasant time. But last but not least, my biggest issue is this movie's so long. And I don't know if this is an editing issue or a direction issue or a writing issue. I don't know what it is. This movie felt like 4.5 hours long. I thought we were getting to the end of the movie. I was like, we're wrapping up. We got about 10, 15 minutes left. And I looked down and there was still 40 minutes left. And I'm like, what in the actual F are we doing here? This is terrible pacing. I knew the movie was like 2 hours long. Like I knew, I mentally prepared, I was ready for it. But then like when I'm like, okay, I think we're getting to the end here, you feel like it, the way the writing's going, okay, this is the conclusion, we're going to get to the end and blah, blah, blah. There's still 40 minutes left. This movie was not paced well. It just wasn't. And I think this is just a failure in writing in general. I think they tried to do a lot and not really any of it succeeded, and it left a bad taste in my mouth, and it made me feel like I was watching a movie that was way too long. A movie like this does not need to be that long. Even the 2 hours, but like when it's paced badly, it feels like 4 hours. It's too long. Technical, fine. The visual effects on Harbour were okay. I wouldn't say they're anything special. I thought it was inventive. It was something I hadn't seen before, so I thought I'll give a little credit for that. Direction, I didn't really notice the direction, which is a shame because I'd have to look at who directed it, but I think he's like, the director's like pretty well known and has done some things. Oh, isn't it the director of Freaky, I believe? Which I still haven't seen that I need to see. So yeah. That's pretty much it. I thought this review would be one of my shortest, and it's actually almost going to be about 10 minutes, which is going to be one of my longer ones. Go down below in the comments. Let me know, what did you think of We Have a Ghost? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know why. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. I gave We Have a Ghost a 64 out of 100. It's one of my least favorite of the year. No, it is actually currently my least favorite movie of the year. That'll probably change, but for now, it's my least favorite movie of the year. Just didn't work for me. I wish it did, but it didn't. Just didn't work for me. Go down below in the comments once again and let me know, what did you think of We Have a Ghost on Netflix? You can go check it out if you want. It's probably a fun like the kids will probably like it. It's probably a fun family movie. But for me, the 24-year-old snobby film critic that I am, it didn't work for me, but it just is what it is. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Go check me out on social media. Go check me out on Twitter. You follow me on Twitter for all my movie stuff, sports stuff, work stuff, everything on Twitter. Instagram, Jack Lautaret Reviews. You get all of the movie reviews. You would have already known my score for this movie if you followed me on Instagram. And then, yeah, make sure you subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Go check out my last video essay on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and King the Conqueror. It's starting to get a little bit of life in it now, which is great to see. So thank you if you've already watched it. If you've not, go check it out. And yeah, again, subscribe, like the video. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. It means a lot for you to come and check out my content. It really does. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.